Hello, hello. Welcome to the brush room. My name's Erin. I'm your instructor. I welcome you all in. If you are viewing this from YouTube and you would like to be a part of my free community, the brush room, please click on the link in the show notes. We are on school.com and we are called the brush room. Anyway, there's my shameless plug. Let's get to it. You remember a couple days ago we learned about circles and cylinders. Yesterday we learned about squares and how to stack them and create the shadow. Today we are doing triangles and cones. The same principles apply. So this video is just going to be an expansion of what we've already been learning. Okay? So a triangle, as we know, looks like this. Right? How do we make a foreshortened triangle? We really don't. We just make it skinnier. We can make it shorter. This might be considered a foreshortened triangle. But triangles, there's a lot of triangle shapes in nature. So it's good to practice triangles so you can start witnessing them. I see triangles a lot in landscapes. So it's just good to practice the triangles and try and get used to what these shapes, where you see them in nature. You see them a lot on people's faces and in figures too. So, triangles. What about a cone? A cone is nothing more than a rounded bottom triangle. Rounded bottom triangle. And to create shape on a cone, you're gonna shadow the outsides and use contour lines to make it look rounded. Okay, it's gonna be lighter usually in the middle than it would be on the outside. Okay, so there are cones in construction. There are cones in hats. Looks like a witch's hat now. How would we shade the witch's hat? Just like we'd shade anything else. You're always going to want to follow the contour. Let's try that again. So we're going to do dot, 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 down, down, and around. Then you're going to make points on the outside. And this is a big hat, isn't it? That is a big hat. Let's go ahead and shade that. This is really all there is to this lesson, you guys. It's pretty simple stuff. We're going to have the light coming from this way. And so I'm going to shade a little bit around the bottom to make the brim stick in. And then we're going to leave this part light back here, up here, because the light's coming this way, right? And we're going to start the dark part right here. I shade a lot with the side of my lid. Because I find I have more control with that. And then The point is going to come out here. There we have it. There you have it. There it is. What are some other triangle shapes? And a circle and a circle. And a triangle and a triangle. With Porky the Pig. Cartoon version of it, quick version of it. But do you see how I did that? So we have a cylinder, an almond shape with a circle, almond shape with a circle, an actual circle here, and a couple triangles, and we have a quick little pig. And then we can do an oval. And a cylinder and a cylinder. And two V's. Now, very cartoony, not realistic at all, but just playing around, trying to figure out what it looks like, pulling out shapes. I would need two more arms, but that's kind of what we're trying to learn. We're trying to learn how to see the shapes in things so we can start drawing the shapes first and not be so intimidated, and then expand on our actual factual skill from there. We're going to give him human arm cones. See the cone? Here's another cone. And two V's. Yeah. And now to make this guy really funny, we can follow the foreshortened rule by doing a circle or a half circle and another half circle. We're going to do two parallel lines up and down. We're going to do two triangles. Circles down the front. A contour line and a contour line, a circle for the button. And then we can't forget his pants. That would be bad if we were going to dress him if we forgot his pants. So we're going to erase that line. We're going to put pants on him by drawing a contour line and a contour line and bringing a slanted line up to his belly and erase that cone right there. And then a parallel set of lines, a horizontal line, and another. And then we're going to do funny little loops right here, because why not? We're already making a ridiculous looking pig. So that's the kind of fun you can have if you start to do your practice. We could be really funny and put shoes on him, but we're not going to. So that's why you want to make light lines, so you can erase once you start expanding on what you've been trying to learn. But we have triangles, we have circles, we have cylinders. This is kind of a square, you know, not too a lot of dimension. Contour lines. There you have it. There it is. If we wanted to shave this guy, shade this guy. Here I go. You can't do art wrong, you guys. You got to say that out loud with me. Can't do art wrong. If we're going to shade this guy, we're going to put some shading right by his arms because it's going to be darker at that point. We're also going to shade right down here in the crotch area and on the hip area. And we could really just blacken in the hooves. I'm gonna have to tell my dad, he's a retired farmer, that I was drawing a pig that stood on 2 legs today. He would laugh at me. Okay, and then I always use my finger to just like blend it all in. That is it for today. Now we're just messing around. So triangles and cones. Tomorrow we're going to add all these shapes together and actually create something fun. All right. Have a good night. Again, if you want to be part of my free community, it is on School. It is called the Brush Room. The link is in the bio. Please click it and come and join us.